Border Issues, Imperial Valley Press, Sunday, July 20th, 2008. Main headline article, Migrant Journey Turned Deadly. Three were hit by a truck. Subtitle, November 21st accident. Driver left women 10-year-old to die after striking them. By Victor Morales. Isidro Cruz last spoke to his wife by telephone on the morning of November 21st, 2007, as she and her three daughters prepared themselves inside a Mexicali stash house to cross the border illegally. The 34-year-old Yolanda Cruz planned to call him once they reached a Los Angeles storefront the next day to be reunited with the couple's three other daughters that Isidro was watching. She and her girls eventually crossed the border somewhere west of Mexicali in a sport utility vehicle through a remote dirt road. Then they walked the desert for 2 hours guided by a human smuggler named Flaco. By sunset, the family and 6 others arrived at the shoulder of Interstate 8 a mile west of Ocotillo and hunkered down. And just before 9 p.m., under the direction of Flaco, they made a fatal move that cost Yolanda Cruz, her 10-year-old daughter Liliana, and another 23-year-old woman their lives. The subsequent triple fatal hit-and-run accident occurred one day before Thanksgiving and was thoroughly investigated by the California Highway Patrol, but remains unsolved. Their final report and witness accounts were obtained by the Imperial Valley Press and depicts a disastrous migrant journey north that has permanently torn apart a Riverside County family at the hands of a shady coyote and motorists unidentified and apparently at large. Bodies flew. Under the cover of nightfall, the group lay face down on the dirt of the center median of Interstate 8 after successfully crossing the eastbound lane. According to witness Ulysses Martinez, the 26-year-old from Mexico City had arrived in Mexicali by plane 5 days prior and was traveling with the group. Flaco, the coyote, knelt and watched the traffic and suddenly began instructing the group to run across the westbound lane. Yolanda's daughters, 15-year-old Erica and 12-year-old Elisa, made it across with the coyote safely. Their mother and youngest sister, Liliana Cruz, and 23-year-old Nancy Valdez of Mexico City followed behind, according to the accounts. Then, bodies flew. Just 10 paces behind, Yolanda and Liliana were struck. I had just gotten onto the road when I noticed a car coming at us. I yelled out to my mother and told her not to cross. I heard the impact of the car hitting my mother and sister. I began to call out for my mother, but she would not answer back, Erica Cruz told a Highway Patrol investigator. Laying face down on the ground, Erica Cruz, the oldest, ran toward her mother and sister, but left the scene immediately after Flaco had begun to flee with Elisa. I then heard my sister yell out, I then heard my sister yell out to me, so I ran toward her and left with her because I did not want to leave her with the man that was guiding us, Erica told the Highway Patrol. Meanwhile, Martinez ran to Valdez's limp body and removed it to the center divider. He moved Yolanda and Liliana's bodies to the north shoulder. I tried to talk to each one of them as I moved them, but they did not respond, he said. With 3 bodies on both sides of the westbound lane, Martinez hid for 45 minutes in a drain before summoning a passing Border Patrol unit, according to his testimony. The scene. When the Highway Patrol arrived about 9:45 p.m., officers found all 3 dead. All were laying face down on the dirt, according to the report. Highway Patrol investigators began to immediately question the Border Patrol agent and Martinez at the scene, according to the report. Did they witness the collision? Could they describe the vehicle? They didn't have answers for him. The Highway Patrol and Border Patrol found a gray front-end shroud belonging to a 94-97 Dodge Ram pickup, and the hunt was on. 7 months later, the vehicle involved may have turned up in a Border Patrol pursuit on the streets of Raleigh. The scene was filled with physical evidence, a broken grill emblem, blood, and a pair of shoes. It is believed the Dodge pickup may have been traveling without its lights on, according to the report. The collision was determined to be a felony hit-and-run. The sisters. Erica and Elisa eventually were delivered to a house in Los Angeles and then taken to a store, where relatives picked them up, according to their accounts. They were later brought to their father in Riverside County, according to the report. In the following days, Highway Patrol investigators questioned Martinez, Erica, Elisa, and their father, Isidro Cruz, on the identity of Flaco, but they didn't know his real name. Reached by telephone at their home in Riverside County, Isidro Cruz declined to be interviewed for this story, but Cruz, who is a gardener, said he was having trouble caring for his 5 daughters by himself. Quote, "It's something that for us, is too upsetting because I didn't want this to happen," he said. And there's another little sub-article titled Investigation Underscores Agency's Cooperation by Victor Morales. It didn't take long for the California Highway Patrol to start looking for the pickup that fatally struck 3 women, including a 10-year-old girl and her mother. The group had run across Interstate 8 near Ocotillo after illegally entering the country. On November 23, 2007, the next business day, a Highway Patrol investigator took the front-end assembly found at the scene to the local dealer to confirm the truck's model and year. A gray 94 to 97 Dodge Ram, Highway Patrol Officer Wes Boner said. Border Patrol units also returned to the scene the next morning, Thanksgiving Day, to look for more evidence. At the same time, a Highway Patrol investigator in Madera knocked on doors for a suspicious subject that may have been involved. For the next 2 months, investigators scoured the region from Mexicali to Barstow to Oceanside for the truck, Bonner said. Dealers and shops were scrutinized for anybody requesting repairs for their pickups. A month into the investigation, the Border Patrol called. They had a man detained who may have been involved, but no results turned up, Bonner said. It wasn't the last time the Border Patrol called in. 4 months later, the next tip was more solid. They had seized a pickup that matched the description that struck the women, Highway Patrol Officer Jose Serrano said. The pickup was located after a U.S. Customs and Border Protection helicopter followed a vehicle that illegally crossed the border west of Mexicali on May 28. It made its way to Brawley, where police and border units gave chase. It crashed into a fence at the Brawley airport, and 18 suspected illegal aliens and 2 smugglers were arrested, the Border Patrol said. On June 27th, Highway Patrol and California Department of Justice investigators got a search warrant and examined the pickup. They determined its front end had recently been repaired. A search of the undercarriage revealed a substance that appeared to be biological tissue, Bonner said. Investigators took samples to compare it with the DNA of the victims. The results are pending in a Riverside lab. Results could take up to 2 months. It looks pretty promising, Bonner said. The driver is detained on federal charges but is not a suspect in the hit-and-run accident, Bonner said. But federal authorities are aware the Highway Patrol is interested in him. It is a high priority for us, but not for the U.S. Department of Justice, he said. Even if the lab tests do implicate the pickup, the detained driver may not necessarily have direct involvement in the accident. The California license plate issued to the pickup does not reveal an owner, a typical circumstance among vehicles being used in smuggling cases. Investigators would still have to build a history to determine who may have been at the wheel when it struck the woman. The potential breakthrough also points to a bizarre scenario. Investigators are not ruling out that the vehicle may have been the designated pickup vehicle for the women on the interstate, Bonner said. It could have come down to a botched operation with fatal repercussions. That reports of the vehicle traveling with its lights off supports that theory. Anytime a vehicle is driving without its lights while dark is probably doing something illegal, Bonner said. The whole alien smuggling thing is a common denominator, he said. Investigators labored to extract information from witnesses, all suspected illegal immigrants, Bonner said. They appeared evasive when asked about the details of the smuggling operation. Quote, "You would think that with something as tragic as this that they would want to step forward," Bonner said. But the case also underlines the cooperation within Imperial County agencies. From the start, the Border Patrol was intricately involved. Quote, "All of us in law enforcement are a family. They help us, we help them," Border Patrol Agent Victor Castruita said. That the victims of the crime are suspected illegal aliens weren't a factor in the level of assistance provided, he said. That makes no difference. If there is crime, we will fully assist, Castruita said. The guy probably struck and then sold the car to some Mexicans, and then that's what it was used for. So that's what I'm thinking.